Hello. Hi, welcome, and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you joining me. We're going to get a little clarity. We're going to start with the tea leaf and go kind of neutral, see what messages would be helpful for you. It's a timeless reading. Whatever it finds you, it's perfect. It's also a collective reading. If it finds you, there's going to be something that comes through that will resonate for you. It might not be every message. You'll know when it twinkles and it feels like it really fits. If it doesn't fit, it's just a message for somebody else. Always connect to that beautiful, direct, divine connection that you have inside of you to your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe, to energies, because the answer is always in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition so that your decisions are sound, based in love, and for the highest, greatest good of everybody, so that we are all uplifted in love. We're going to start with the tea leaf. Let's see what some opening messages are to be aware of. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. Something's going to happen in the month of June. So maybe you have a June birthday. It looks like you have angelic protection or guidance that is coming through to help you begin something in June. Maybe it's an ending in June. Maybe it's a birthday, an anniversary, a graduation, a special event. There's something about June where something's going to blossom. Something's going to change. And I am getting that it's a divine change. It feels blessed because you have this angel here. So let's see. Even it doesn't really matter when you're watching this reading. There's something important about the month of June being a pinnacle point or a turning point, a starting point, a redirection, something like that. It's going to bring something back into balance in your life. So whatever was wobbling, whatever was out of balance, there's something where in June, things will start to tip the scale in the right direction so that different areas of your life all have growth. I also feel like there's like a snake wrapped around the scale. So maybe you're shedding your old skin, old ways. It could also be that anything that was restricting you, because I feel like maybe you didn't even, it's interesting. I kind of feel like you may not have even recognized that this scale was in balance. Let's say, this plant over here was way heavier than this one, but it's almost like there was something constricting the gears on this scale. So you didn't even recognize that there was a lot of strain or stress that was holding one thing differently than the other because something was forcing it to be like this, but yet it was still imbalanced. I feel like something is going to release that constriction. And all of a sudden, you're going to get a recognition that there was something way out of balance in your life. But once you have that recognition, now you can readjust. And I feel like it's like a relief. It like takes away some like tension. It just makes me, I don't know why, I feel like it's like, when you accidentally fall asleep on the couch, or at least this is me. So this is the example I have. When you fall asleep, let's say on a bus or on a plane or in a car or on the couch and you forgot your pillow and you sleep a little longer. It's a little longer than a cat nap and you didn't realize that your head was kind of like at a really awkward position. And then you wake up and it's like, okay, you got your sleep. And then you're like, oh, whoa, like you can't move your neck. It's something like that where you didn't realize you were stuck in a weird position for so long until you actually straightened up, and then you have to have that. There's going to be a little awkward period, where you recognize, that really hurts. I do see somebody maybe with a neck thing, or maybe like a spine. Maybe it's how you align yourself when you sleep. Maybe it's, a massage, doing something like that. But I feel like it has to do with a pillow, how you sleep, how you align yourself. But I feel like this is also maybe chakra alignment, feeling aligned in your life, aligning with the right vibrations. And I also feel like next time you go to sleep, you're going to bring one of those cool neck pillows. If you have to sleep on the train, you're going to recognize when you start dozing off, like, oh no, I'm going to doze off. I need to get my pillow. Where's my dog? So there's something about you doing it different. Maybe after, a weird moment, but it's going to feel a lot better. I also feel like if some of you were healing from maybe an injury or something like that, and I'm not getting, for all of you, it was something like recent. I feel like this is something that has been going on a very long time. There's something that's going to come through that feels like a blessing that really, like you really start to feel a lot better, like a lot better. And I don't know why I see the sunshine. Maybe it's getting a little extra sunshine, getting outside, connecting with nature. I even feel like for some of you, because I see these plants in both of these, you know, so maybe there's an activity that you can do that's kind of meditative, not strenuous, but it's something where it's almost like you're exercising, but you're also enjoying what you're doing, and you're also, I want to say, creating something you're proud of. Also, if there is a certain activity you really love to do, but maybe it has a weird position. You know, I just think of when you're in the garden now and you have your knees, you know, down and you're kind of hunched over. You don't really realize being hunched over that long. It's kind of like, oh man, what did I do today? So I feel like there's a different position. Like I see the pillow now that goes underneath the knees to kind of like ease something up, ease up the pressure. Maybe if some of you stand in a certain position for a long time, if you stand for work, it's getting one of those, you know, cushy things either in your shoes or that you can stand under. There's something about the surface changing. Maybe the surface is breaking down and you're getting to the gooey inside of something. Kind of interesting messages from there. What else would be helpful on for the collective watching this reading today on the scales coming back into balance, June, and now you have a parrot. Okay, so you got this parrot energy coming through, so maybe that's why something is coming back into balance. Just know that there's somebody who's a talker, but they talk just to talk. They talk to hear themselves speak. They talk to be a know-it-all. They talk to regurgitate information they have no idea about, you know, hearsay. It's somebody who thrives on drama, and it's just telling you, have awareness that if there's somebody that talks about everybody else's secrets, maybe that's not the person to tell your secret to. I feel like you're going to get insight or intuition. Either you're going to hear this person blab their mouth about someone else and no, not, you know, that's not the person to confide or confess in. And I feel like if you had a situation where maybe you thought you could trust this person and then sort of found out through the grapevine that maybe you can't trust this person. Maybe they're talking behind your back. It could be a frenemy situation. It could be a family member. It could be a coworker. It could be a stranger. But I do feel like it's somebody who I'm getting, they ask you, like they're kind of casually inquiring about certain things about you, and yet their questions seem to be pushy. They seem to be kind of invasive. They seem to be like, what are you asking, really? Like, what are you trying to get at here? So maybe it's just having awareness that you can be direct, to be like, yo, I don't talk about my personal life. So how's the weather today? Or maybe it's just keeping something kind of short, and I feel like it's more about redirecting that conversation. I feel like you're going to get deep insight on who this is. So I don't think it's something to worry about, but it says someone will gossip about all your secrets. I feel like they just want to. I don't feel like in all cases they are going to. Let's see. Because a parrot, it's also just a macaw. So it's like a bird that has kind of a small vocabulary. It's not an African gray here. So it's someone that just doesn't really know what they're talking about. So I feel like it's that question thing. If somebody has something they have to say, and I feel like if you ask them, I feel like it's something you actually know about and they don't. So I feel like there's a way to redirect something, and you can actually ask them a question back and they're going to kind of be stumped, like not actually know what they're talking about. So I hope that made sense. I feel like there's somebody trying to take credit for something that they didn't do. Whether that's credit on something you did, or you know the real person that did something, and I feel like you're gonna stump them. That's sort of what I see. Like, oh really? Well, what's A plus B plus C, blah, 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 blah. And they're gonna be like, and then they're gonna kind of like stumble their words. So let's see, what else would be helpful to know about? Is there anything from this half of the tea leaf? Please and thank you. One. Ooh, I like this. You have plenty of things coming towards you. Don't worry about the gossip, the birds, the bees, you know, or maybe the bees. The bees are always important to worry about. They are the ecosystem of the world. They make all that fruit plump and fresh. But maybe it's somebody who's concerned about your romantic life, since I saw the birds and the bees. Maybe if you like to keep something to yourself, it's just none of their business. But here, you have plenty of material things. That's abundance. So it is about the 3D world here, but interesting that the material things in this bowl are fruits and vegetables. So there's something about you looking at the stuff around you and seeing what actually nourishes your soul, what is useful to you. I'm also getting an extra message with this, just so you know. If you have that beautiful bowl of fruit, you know, it only takes one piece of rotten fruit to spoil the bunch. So maybe, energetically speaking, whatever that is that you think of, maybe it's getting rid of the rotten fruit. And then all of a sudden something is flourishing. Let's move on. Is there anything from this half of the tea leaf that would be helpful to know? Please and thank you. Any extra messages? Also, March. Maybe something happens between March and June, or June and March. A March birthday. There's like little bluebells. Something about a bell, the color blue. I feel like somebody's marching. I know that's interesting, but like March 4th. Maybe it's March 4th. That was interesting. Maybe these 2 months are important for some of you. I feel like something maybe started to shift in the air in March, but I feel like it was wind that was happening pretty far away. Maybe you can like sense that something was different or something was changing, but I feel like maybe it takes till June for you to see the full results of something. You also have this energy of the dolphin, which I always relate to communication, happiness, joy, laughter. It's telling you with this particular dolphin, you're jumping for joy because you're actually having a lot of abundance in your life. I'm getting with this bowl, there's plenty for everyone. There's a way to adjust those scales to make everybody happy. There's not lack. If you're in lack mentality that everyone's going to get all your customers or everyone's going to have all this, and there's that hoarding kind of keep it to yourself kind of energy, there's something where you just kind of let it go, let it grow. Because I see this little bowl, but I feel like in your backyard you have all of those fruit trees. So there's something about plenty for everyone. And if you think that you pluck that fruit and that's it, you'll never have another piece of fruit. There's something where like energetically another, piece of fruit gets to grow where something was gone. So something's going to keep coming back. This says financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. So you've already planted seeds somewhere. Maybe you didn't see results yet. Maybe you're waiting for those scales to come back into balance. Maybe you made some investments on your time, your energy, your money, something like that, and you're waiting for these results. It looks like they're going to come in. There's also something where you were under the surface of a situation. Now you breached the surface. You feel like you can breathe again. You're going to have some positive karma coming back from something beautiful that you did in the past. I feel like for some of you, you did something not to get. not even really worried about the results. Maybe you really thought that something would turn out better, but I feel like these results are going to be way beyond your expectations of what you thought might happen when you just were doing what you loved or you were putting attention into because you could. I hope that made sense. I feel like that was our tea leaf. So let's see. Let's go to the career, just because you do have financial gain here. And let's get you a life and career message and see what would be helpful. What is a message on life and career that would be helpful for the collective? Woo! Today, winds of change are blowing. On Dolphin, Parrot, Bowl, Scales, June and March. Tell us about... Wow, that was so quick. Oh, you got a jellyfish. I love it. I love it. You're in the flow. This is beautiful. That's what it is. Because you have this translucent energy flowing like the jellyfish, but you can be way down deep, way like in the dark ocean where other fish can't see anything. And you have your own bioluminescence. You have your own inner glow that can show you, the next step, what's right around you. There's also something here about you being able to be really flexible in different situations, know when to be transparent, translucent, when to open up, and when to remain, I actually heard tight-lipped, but it could be strength. And there's something about you catching the right wave, because the jellyfish kind of breathes, they kind of do this little dance, and it moves them kind of dancing along the, dancing in the ocean. But then if you have this wave or this energy, this, tide that comes on in, it kind of moves along a little faster. So there's something about you catching the right flow of energy that as you are breathing, as you are being your natural self, you're kind of getting more momentum, and it's like you end up further than you thought. I hope that made sense. It's kind of like when you're swimming, there's a difference between going upstream and all of a sudden if you switch directions, you think you've only gone like 20 feet and you're like, whoa, I went a mile. There's something like that where your effort, your energy is different than the extra effort and energy from the universe actually taking you in the right direction. Also, with the flow, you have to, by flowing, you can't restrict. You can't not breathe. You can't suck it in, and now you have this big old hard, jellyfish, and it's never doing the breathing. So you have to somehow relax and open for something to come in, be receptive as well as pursuing. The universe is sending you help. Tap into your inner power and go deeper to create the purposeful life you want to live. That's a big ass message. So you want to have a purpose. You're following your higher purpose. You're not doing something just to get by. There's something where even if you're doing something financially and that's bringing you stability, there's something nourishing here that you can insert, that you can add, that you can do into your life that gives you that soul connection. It's more like legacy. It doesn't matter how big or small it is, perceived from the outside world. It's big to you because it's meaningful to you. It feels like something you're beginning or something you're being gifted as an open opportunity that you maybe get to start, or something that you started long ago that you see results, but feels like it's you. It's like I just heard where you never thought you would be. So maybe in the past, if you looked at where you are here or how you were in the flow with this thing, it's not really what you thought you would be doing at this point in your life, or thought you would be working on, or how you would have grown with something, but it feels right for you now. And it feels like something that you see momentum, you see progress, you see that flow of energy, how your flow of energy is different when you get to do this or get to have this thing in your life. And it's almost like it's effortless, even if you put a lot of effort in. It's kind of like it's something you're doing and it's supposed to be work, but it's like you're playing. I sort of see that. So whatever that is, where it feels like almost a playful energy, and yet, you know, it's working out financially for you or just abundantly in your soul, it's because it's something you feel like you just kind of enjoy. It doesn't really feel like effort has to be put in. It's like you get to do it. So I really like that. I'm going to go different. Let's go weird. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Ultraviolet Dove here. We're going to go weird. I like this deck of cards, but it is a little different. So let's just see, because everybody has different situations, different environments, and this is the place oracle. So it is different places. Let's just see what comes up. Maybe this is something to look out for. Maybe it's very specific and very direct. Interesting that you have in the flow and there's the ocean waves, seaside. Maybe you connect to the ocean, salt water. Let's get you a place. What is a place of prominence? Maybe this is something to have awareness on in your future. It could also be something that brings some synchronicity into your life. What is a prominent place of importance? I'm hearing value. What's a place of value to know about for the collective that's watching this reading today? What is the opening place of value, prominence, importance to know about? Ooh, I like it. So you have this, and now you have a lighthouse. So you're getting guidance. You're being prevented from hitting those rocks. You're getting through a storm. You might have to go through a storm, but you have hope after the storm. It's like seeing the rainbow. It's the silver lining. There's also something where you're in the stability, this tower. So even if the storm is around you, there's something about you standing tall, finding your center, letting that like internal illuminescence or illumination shine, and just hold on. You're strong. I feel like there's a solid foundation here, and the storm's going to blow over. You know, the weather is going to change. The birds are going to come out. The tide is going to chillax. And I feel like you're learning something through the storm. And if you are heading towards a storm, know you can handle it. Know you will get divine guidance along the way. It could also be a tower moment, because I see a tower, and now there is all of this fiery energy, but this is actually beautiful because it's after you have that scorched land, you know, blazing sun and desert. Maybe you connect to a desert, but it's where there's a lot of heat. Maybe June is going to be hot for some of you. But that parched earth energy creates a new, fresh, solid foundation to grow these beautiful trees. Sometimes something has to be, you know, completely like taken down to have a fresh, clean slate. Maybe there's also a certain situation where it's kind of hot and heated. It looks like you got enough, water here to cool down whatever was scorched and hot and flaming. But it could be also passion that's coming through. Maybe it's passion and love, since you have the fire and the water. Maybe it's emotions and spirit that are working together, because there's a lot of energy in both of these. But you know what? You need that fire there to illuminate that lighthouse, or you need the spirit to illuminate that lighthouse. I guess technically they probably use LED lights now. So I actually don't know what kind of lights. Rose is here needing attention. I don't know what kind of lights they actually use in a lighthouse now. If you know what that is, maybe put that in the comments. I'm kind of curious. Hello, Rose. And I'm just thinking like Pete's Dragon. Like I'm going back to, what is that from, like 1950 something with Elliot the Dragon? And I feel like they used like it was an actual candle, because I'm thinking of that song, I'll be your candle on the water. I'll be your candle on the water. My love for you eyes burn. I'm such a dork that I'm going to old school Disney. I know you're lost. I can't believe I remember this. An aching, something lost and aching, but my heart is breaking. Don't give up, you'll have somewhere to turn. Wow, that was weird. Okay, maybe something in Pete's Dragon or in that song. It's actually a beautiful song. Oh, the interesting brain files of music I have in my head. You also have a living room, a post office. You have a lot of elements. I think there's a tower moment coming through. There's definitely a change in the wind. But there's also something about that palm tree. When the palm trees, you know, it's like when they go all the way down to the ground, there's something where they kind of pop up. There's something still strong about them. There's something about you having the solid roots and the flexibility you need to get through the storm. I also kind of see that, interestingly enough, if there was something that needed to blow down, like a branch that was just kind of, I want to say top heavy or a little bit weak. There's something about the wind coming through to take away something that was weak. Even though it's kind of annoying if you walk out to your tree and all of a sudden you have to pick up all these branches. There's something about you getting to clean up something that was weakening a system or making something less flexible. Because I feel like even though there's some work, it feels like it's a blessing in disguise. I hope that made sense. I think that was more an energetic thing. Breezy gusts. Maybe there's just a lot of wind, a lot of water, a lot of heat, a lot of weather going on in June or March. It's an airy expanse, dancing leaves, and whirling winds. I'm getting definitely, if this has to do with any kind of astrology signs, I mean, it does look like you have water signs, fire signs, air signs, maybe specifically Libra. I also feel like maybe you're getting a package or there's something that's going to be delivered or there's something that was delayed because the post office is kind of like snail mail. So maybe you thought something would arrive in your life sooner or maybe something arrives by surprise. I feel like some of you are signing for something. If you have to maybe send an important document or a package, I do feel like get tracking. Package tracking, it even says that. What else? Written correspondence and mail delivery. I feel like some of you are going to get something important but exciting in the mail. Something you've been waiting for. It's also something that's going to bring back you feeling more comfortable. Maybe if you were waiting for an answer or waiting for something that you had to find, like sign, I feel like maybe that brings the scales back in balance. You feel better that you signed on the dotted line, that you sent something out, that you've received some news. I also feel like some of you might be getting something in the mail that has to do with something you're working on, whether that's a tool. I don't know, I see supplies or something like that, but it's like something that you needed. Something that you will use a lot of. It's not something you buy, you know, you saw it on QVC or whatever they have in TikTok, whatever, and the best ever. And then you get it and it kind of goes on the shelf. I am not seeing that. Whatever it is that you may purchase or is gifted to you or you invest in, it's something that you use to the point where like it got its use. If you wear this thing out, whatever it is, it's because you used it every single day or a lot. So it's something of value. Some of you also might be working on something in your home. Maybe some of you are moving. That is the fanciest living room. Where is that? Look at the beams. Maybe you're doing something in an apartment building. It's a family gathering. I feel like you might be meeting somebody else's family, or maybe this is having a dinner party, soul family, a new family member. I also feel like there's something about you maybe moving in with somebody. It could be a roommate, that could be your honey. I also see some of you having somebody move out and you're helping them move. Or you're helping them decorate. You're helping them like unbox their things or pick out the new couch or something like that, where you're, I don't know, I see pizza. Like, I'll help you move your boxes. I'll drive the moving truck, but I want pizza and I'll do it for you. So interesting. I always get different messages with all of these. Hopefully some of those resonated for some of you. Maybe if some of you are moving, all you need to do is ask your friend to help and provide the pizza. Maybe for some of you, they want pizza and wine, or pizza and beer, or pizza and wheatgrass shots, whatever their style is. I just heard bubble tea. Maybe somebody is into bubble tea. I don't even quite know what that is. Like, just know, like, it's on signs. I don't even know if I've had bubble tea. All right, let's go. Let's do this. Yeah, let's go to the mystery deck. Just get a couple of extra mystery messages to In the Flow, Lighthouse, Scorching Lands, Windswept Region. I feel like if some of you, I'm thinking of the post office and what's that, like, you know, in the rain, in the snow, in the heat, in the whatever, we will get your mail there. Like, I'm thinking of the #1 post office in Manhattan. It's like 34th Street, you know, and it's written across the top. There's something about you, like, really making something happen, even if the weather is weird, because all of these kind of look like weird weather. So maybe if some of you have something planned, there's a way to be flexible and still have a good experience, but maybe not what you planned. Hopefully that made sense. Let's get a card or two. Oh yeah, maybe there's something going on behind closed doors, or that's what was happening until now. Maybe if you were confused about someone or what was happening, it's because behind closed doors, something was being prepared for you. Someone was making some changes. I'm even getting that there was something going on behind closed doors or underneath the surface, growing deep roots, that has to do with something that you like planted, something that you put effort into, but it's almost like it couldn't come out. It wasn't ready to be presented. That door had to stay locked until something was really prepared. I'm seeing that cake thing, like the energetic weather, you know, weather cake from the universe. So if you open up the oven too soon, or you take the cake out and you try to eat it, it's going to be all gooey, although it could be lava cake and it is really good. But there's something about it was too gooey and it needed to rise. It needed to, you know, I actually see the iced cherry on top. I actually see script on, maybe there is a birthday. I see script on a cake with your name on it. Or maybe you're the one preparing a gift for someone. It doesn't have to be a cake, but I feel like because I see that, it's something sweet and it's something personalized. Hopefully that made sense to some of you. Aww. Well, maybe this is going on in the living room. Maybe this is what's going on behind the closed door. Maybe that's you and somebody else. Somebody maybe is even taking a long time, you know, that snail mail kind of energy to go through the fire, go through the wind, go through the water, following that inner illumination, because all they can think about going through all of that energy is to hold you at the end of the rainbow. It was cute. There's something where there's somebody really comfortable in your arms. And this feels really simple. Maybe that's somebody from your past. Maybe that's somebody new coming in, holding you. I also feel like that's kind of different. Like maybe somebody's holding you, like this is somebody who has your back. Maybe this is where you need to take something one step at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself. Look at the step you're on. You could have big plans for something, you know, big plans for something you planted here, but wind's gonna blow, you know, earth is gonna scorch, storms are gonna come in. So it's definitely something about being flexible and going with the flow of the changes as they arrive. Even with that palm tree, that flexibility. One step at a time, you can figure something out. Maybe this is you and someone else that can figure something out together. Two heads are better than one. Maybe this is something that's worth it. Worth each step you take. Worth waiting for that door to open. Worth all the energetic or actual weather you had to go through. Worth waiting for the mail to come through snail mail. Worth for you to breathe with these scales in balance. Let's get one more. One more. There's one more message from the mystery deck. That's interesting. I saw make plans. So whatever you are making plans on, I feel like you're going to make plans, but for some of you, these plans are going to have to get thrown out the window or be altered a little bit. I do feel like making plans is important. Maybe somebody has been making plans for something important behind a closed door. Maybe you have to have a plan B. You know, hope for the best, but just in case, you have a backup plan. You know, I feel like it's having layers with you. Like you thought it'd be hot and sunny, and then you get there and you're like, they told me this area was always 70 and beautiful. Why is it 20 degrees below zero? I didn't pack my winter coat. No, maybe not that extreme, but I do feel like there's something about having, you know, different layers of a situation. Maybe this is a deep situation that has many layers. Maybe the layers here are unfolding one step at a time. It's worth discovering and enjoying each layer as it unfolds, whether that's something in your life or something with someone else. So many different messages in this. I love it. All right, hopefully some of these made sense, or they might later. Sometimes these make sense later. So maybe some of you know someone that works in a post office or maybe does interior design. Maybe some of you know somebody pretty awesome that works in a lighthouse. I actually see a tour or something like that. Maybe somebody has a cool aquarium, or you're going to the aquarium. I also feel like with this, there's something about a campfire, a bonfire. I actually kind of see like a backyard. And I want to say very specifically like a fire pizza oven. Maybe that's even a place you go and they have that amazing pizza that they make in the fire brick oven, but maybe that's something some of you have in your backyard. That's pretty cool. I'm coming to your house for pizza. Can you tell I like pizza? All right, let's go to the tarot. I don't know which one to use now. Let's continue to go a little weird. I did bring this tarot. I thought I did. I don't see it. I don't know where I put it. Let me go get it. Hold on. I have this one. I have the box, but I don't know where I put the cards. So let me go grab them. Hold on. All right. I tried to do a better job here so you guys can kind of see the cards. This is what is this? The Frau Dutchess tarot. I think I got this. Oh, I caught it with my boobs. Okay, let's continue. I think I got it on Etsy a long time ago. So, but I kind of like how they're a little retro looking. So I'm not sure what to ask because I feel like so many different facets of everybody's situation came through all at once. So let's just start with a foundation. Let's start from scratch and see what your focus should be. What is the best thing to know about right now, today, for the collective? Today, the moon, that something is going to come to light, that there's something that was hidden under the surface that somebody is ready to uncover, or where's your dolphin, breach the surface of something that was emotional. You do have this jellyfish that's way down in the depths of the ocean. So maybe somebody has been really keeping their emotions to themselves. There's something about you getting untangled. Maybe speaking the truth untangles you. There's also something weird here where it's almost like these two hawks both want the same thing. So maybe there was an argument, or maybe it's, even if it's a tower moment, an argument that actually brings a lot of balance back. If there was a lot of stuff swept under the rug, shoved into the bowl. Maybe even a little bit of friction is worth it in the end if it brings out the truth or makes some changes. Because this woman is brushing her hair. So there's something about something was tangled. Maybe some of you are getting your hair done. These messages are a little different in these cards, but the moon is generally like facing your fear. You know, not being afraid to walk to that dark side of the moon that no one has a map to because you can't see it through a telescope, because you have your insight and intuition that step by step as you go into new territory or dive into maybe the shadow side of you, the instinct side of you, the intuitive side of you, the ebb and the flow of a situation, because the moon is also cycles. So there's always another chance for a cycle to go around, and when you get to that point, you can do something a different way. I also feel like there's something about a beginning and a release, because I'm thinking of the new moon and the full moon. Also, there's something about sound waves, energy, and I know this is weird, but somebody like plaid. Maybe you have a plaid blanket or a plaid shirt, or somebody likes to wear plaid. Because I definitely see that there. So why is the moon here? Secrets revealed. It does say here, somebody will gossip about your secrets. So maybe it is knowing when to keep, you know, something to yourself. But it's also the instinct and the intuition to know when you can be comfortable, vulnerable, and open up with that energy of strength. Oh my gosh, I think my dog just farted. Rose, where are you? Did you just... Maybe my mom gave her something weird to eat today. She doesn't ever fart. Maybe it's a weird smell. My dog never farts. That's... Man, Rose. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, that whatever I saw before about paying attention to the flow, what you hold on to and what you let go of. I kind of feel like somebody was holding on to something that they emotionally felt, maybe for you or how you felt about someone else. And maybe it's not spewing out all of the emotions all at once, but it looks like somebody was bottling something up, keeping something secret. I also feel like there's something here about somebody, because the Four of Coins is kind of like the miser. You know, it's the one that hoards everything. They don't actually have abundance, even if they have a lot of stuff, because they're always clenching. Even that is like a clench purse. They're always clenching onto something, kind of penny pinching. An extra message is if you were letting something, you know, fly out the window and you're spending frivolously, and there's something about you holding back what you do not need so you can save for the things that you do. Because I did see you buying something that might be expensive but really important. But this is sort of, the Four of Coins is kind of a weird energy. It's like without that area where you are okay with letting something go, you don't have the space for something better to come in. But with the moon here, it looks like somebody is, I just heard pretending. I don't know why I heard that. Pretending they have certain emotions, like false emotions, or what I feel like money is involved, actually. Because there's somebody here that, you know, has their perfect little coat and the perfect little nails, and they're sitting all prim and proper, and they got their little dollar bill all folded up in their pretty little clench purse. But there's something about there being more under the surface of a situation than is seen. I don't know why, I actually heard knock off. Maybe knock it off. Maybe somebody like wants to be really showy, but their stuff is not genuine, or somebody actually has genuine stuff, but there's something artificial underneath. Maybe that genuine stuff is not really for one's inner truth, but just to be seen. There's something about that. because then I look at this person and now I think of something genuine. Like I see the elegance of like Audrey Hepburn, where there's something where like even Audrey Hepburn, she was kind of a goofy puss, you know, like there was kind of something kind of natural about her, even though she carried herself with elegance. I'm not sure what I see, so let's clarify. Why is the Four of Coins? Somebody could have been holding on to something for a very long time, not knowing when to make that next step, maybe holding on to plans that they were making behind closed doors, maybe even saving for something that's important. I want, you know, when they have that phrase that's like you have to handle somebody with kid gloves. I don't know why I see that, but the moon can be somebody very emotional or overly emotional, you know, like to make a display of it. And I kind of feel like maybe somebody had to be handled with maybe kid gloves because she has those gloves on there. Or maybe that's why somebody was holding back on the truth of their feelings because they know someone's going to like freak out. Dude, is that a song? Freak out. I don't know, but I just thought of Super Freak, which is awesome. I can just remember. All right, story. I love when I have memory because you know how music works. I could just remember one time I was in Manhattan and I had that song playing, Super Freak, and there were these people on the sidewalk. They heard the song and they just all started dancing. It was like a dance party, like all dance. They were like, oh yeah, Super Freak. And I was just like, oh my God, this is the best time ever. So, I mean, maybe it's letting your, what's that? Like, it's like a tongue twister. Just let your freak flag fly, man. All right, let's see. Why is somebody holding on to something, or why is somebody willing to now let go of something? Why is somebody looking at what's actually valuable and what's artificial and superficial? Seeing where growth could be abundant or where it's stagnant. Tell us about these. What is that? What is it? Victory? Look at how hard it is to read those. I can't even tell what this is. I think it is the Six of Wands. Yes, maybe you're getting a phone call. Maybe it's making lemons into lemonade. Maybe somebody thought that they had to save something until they were going to release the news. Maybe somebody, you know, with these plans, it's like somebody was really watching their finances here. Or this was, you know, they were figuring out the scale of in and outward flow before they made a phone call or they opened up with communication. There's something about there's never a perfect time. It's sort of what I see. There's always going to be another cycle. Now is the time you have. So no, why not now? Maybe somebody, you know, had this big plan, but maybe it's looking at the next step and taking a step now in the right direction. Because the Six of Wands is being noticed. It's where you come home after battle, after the training, after, you know, the big game, and you feel victorious. So there's something about this victorious energy being communication. Maybe opening up about what was under the surface or behind closed doors. Maybe opening up to why somebody was even holding back or holding on to someone or something for I'm getting for a very long time. Many moons, many moons. I just thought of my moon, my man. My moon, my man. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know the words. Four of Wands. Six of Wands. It's it could be somebody that's up there on their high horse as well. I would say that's somebody who doesn't have appreciation for the people that create a little friction to get them into this victorious energy, or the people that supported them along the way. You have to get off that high horse. Here you also have all of that fruit. I saw all that fruit here. So there's something about you have the tree. There's maybe a victory in knowing that there is enough. That maybe if something was taken away, there is something else that can grow in its place. I also feel like you're going to get a ring-a-roo from somebody, and it's going to feel really good. It looks like the male in this particular card is a little nervous, but the female is very calm and looks, I want to, like, pleasantly surprised or at peace with this communication. Also, maybe something about a big red bow. My bow. Isn't that what you call like your honey back in like 1950? Oh, that's my bow. What's one more? One more. Clarity on the moon. The Six of Wands. How do I even show you this? I'm going to try to get better at showing you the cards, guys. Oh, the lemons match my sunglasses. And then I'm going to show you this one. And I'm going to show you this one. What is one bridge between the Four of Coins, the Six of Wands, and the Moon, please? What's the bridge between them? What is that? Oh, the bridge is pretty big. The bridge is the Emperor. The bridge is that somebody has to take back their control or step into this position of power or know that they can handle anything. It also looks like this Emperor is, what's at the bottom? The Knight of Wands. It looks like this Emperor is, where's your living room? Actually, just not at the office. They're just kind of looking at a book, maybe waiting for somebody to arrive in their home space, feeling at peace in their home, gaining some knowledge here or presenting some knowledge that they have learned. Waiting. There's another bowl of fruit here. I looked at that and I heard tea lights. Maybe tea lights are important. The Emperor is all of the kings combined. The Emperor is amazing. You know, everyone looks at him as like taking charge and being in control and being the provider and running the kingdom. But he's also the lover. He's getting sassy with the Empress in the bedroom at night. Or he's reading a book if he's a loner, you know, and getting more knowledge, seeing how to make his kingdom better, make that project he's working on get better. The Emperor's had this, it's like, this is kind of for me like the phony emperor, like the one that wants to show the world that they have it all, but they're always empty. They're just burying it in the backyard. There's no investment in return, especially investment in one's soul, in spirit, feeling really that energy of legacy. True abundance is everything. It's health, it's love, it's light. It's light, it's security, it's adventure, it's freedom. It's whatever you feel, you know, really balances out the scales of what you value in your life. The Emperor is not afraid for the kingdom to fall because he's a badass. He's strong enough. He'll get up and do it different the next time because he's learned from that past time that didn't work. It doesn't mean that if something falls down or doesn't work, that he's not disheartened. You know, it is hard and he can be hard. But he's hard because he has to be tough, but he's also soft. He's the lover. He's the best friend. He's the father, the grandfather, the neighbor. And when he's tapped into spirituality, he's got it all. He's divine. He can be someone who's forgetting about that divine side and using all of that energy, all of that masculinity, all of that drive, that ambition to do something and to be what society says. But the Emperor can be sucked completely into the 3D world. You know, the money, the things, the home, the investments, the success, you know, the perfect person on his arm, you know, everything being cookie cutter to all the plans that he made for the next 5 years, or the next 20 years, even if he took it one step at a time. If he's always not tapping into that intuition or bottling up true, authentic emotions of how he actually feels about what he's building, he's going to always feel empty. He's going to always feel like even if there's a bunch of people in that room with him, he has no connection. And, you know, we're here to connect to one another. When the Emperor's in his upright, he's confident in that room alone. He's confident in that room holding who he loves, or he's confident in that room you know, offering a position to somebody because he runs a business, or she, but it's a masculine energy. But that emperor has to learn to be adjustable. I looked at that, 54. Because that's when he's adjustable, that's when he's stable, when he's relatable, he's successful. You know, he gains knowledge, but he knows when he's getting knowledge and it's BS. He knows when to take something with a grain of salt, and he's also humble enough to know if there's something he's learning about he doesn't know everything about. He knows where to go. He knows how to find that information, and he will really take in and be not closed off, where's your thing here, but open to what he needs to have something be more successful. If he's planting seeds in an environment and he wants to make lemons, but he keeps putting them up in the earth in Canada, he might not have a very big lemon tree. So sometimes it's recognizing, okay, maybe you need an atrium. I want to have a lemon tree in Canada. Gonna happen, but you have to put an atrium out. You have to put some heat lamps. You have to get sufficient light. You have to make sure you have the right soil. You have to tend that garden, and then he can have his lemons. But maybe sometimes if it's not really working and he doesn't want to do all that, it's just taking those seeds and going to where a lemon tree will grow. I hope that made sense. If he's upside down, he's a freaking tyrant. He's an asshole, basically, upside down. Upside down, besides him maybe just being in the 3D world, he can be somebody that is overpowering, overbearing, kind of nasty, control freak, needs to have everything that he is planning work out, doesn't really listen to outside advice unless he thinks it's for his benefit and his benefit only, but not really worrying about how it is affecting somebody else. You know, it's somebody who is around him for fear or because they have to be, but not out of real, genuine love. The upside down emperor is somebody that is keeping somebody around and almost making them feel like they have to stay, or they signed up for this, or they're only going to get this. I even see like somebody saying, if you don't do this, or if you don't work for me, you're never going to work for anybody again. Like kind of thing, like bullshit. You know, I feel like maybe somebody's standing up to that kind of emperor, or maybe just not signing on that contract. Or if somebody's in a situation where they recognize, ooh, someone's got a little ego on them, and they're not really coming from the place they said they were before I signed, you know, the papers and didn't look at the fine print or spend enough time with that weirdo, that maybe somebody is looking at how they can be flexible. And maybe even I actually see somebody getting like a silent exit, releasing themselves from that situation. I don't feel like if that's a situation someone's in, they're actually being held. I feel like it's more somebody saying they're holding them. I don't think that's everybody's situation. I'm not sure why that message came in. I feel like mostly I'm getting powerful emperor here, beautiful emperor. I mean, he's sitting there in a suit, but he's at home. You know, his style is a little retro, but so are these cards. And it looks like maybe this emperor is wanting a little more passion in his life. Maybe this emperor is now not afraid of how he feels or facing his fears. Maybe this emperor is diving into an experience that really makes his soul pop up. This guy looks so sweet. Kind of looks like he's a bus driver. Didn't I say something about like a weird neck thing, falling asleep on the bus? It actually looks like whoever this is holding a neck pillow. Whatever that is. Or maybe, you know, it could be his other arm. I just see like choo-choo, all aboard. I also feel like there's something humble here. Like the emperor's not the one to take the bus. They want their private driver. I feel like there's something about this emperor in humility. It's sort of what I see. But typically the Knight of Wands is kind of sassy, kind of passionate. Like they are inspired. They're going to get somebody off the couch. They're going to get the emperor out of the kingdom. They're going to want to be creative, want to be expansive. They don't care if they have to, you know, get on a bus and go on a tour with people that aren't their age, or rent something and do something alone. They want to expand. However they can handle that situation, be flexible, they're going to make it happen. Maybe it's not exactly according to plan. They didn't think they'd be on like, you know, a big bus with other people to visit that country. But if that's the way they get to see that country, they're going to do it. The Knight of Wands, just so you know, upside down is a player. Somebody has all the potential in the world. They get that spiritual fire lit, but they don't have a clue how to keep it running, how to keep it burning, how to keep something alive, because they're out before they really involve themselves in the experience to know how beautiful it could have been. You know, it's somebody that has a lot of enthusiasm. You know, it's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am or sir. In and out, got the experience. Now they're hitting the road. I just heard the song by Jonny Lang. Hit the ground running. I hit the ground running. I hit the ground running, baby, yeah. I hit the ground running. Back to you. Oh, I totally got, don't listen to that. Don't listen. Erase that last part. I think I switched keys on you guys. Well, no one's perfect. Sometimes they get off key. Continuing on, let's get a message from the universe. I feel like if there was anything out of balance, there was someone that was like all in and then out. Okay with the passion, but maybe not the emotions. There has to be somebody here. If you've jumped from the Knight of Wands to the Emperor, that's a pretty big jump. You bypass the king and the queen. If the Emperor had to go back and remember what it was like to have passion in his life, why he started building that kingdom, why he is building plans in his life that he feels are big or small victories, why he feels comfortable with a certain person or environment, then maybe that little fire had to be lit so he recognizes the experiences in life that are the ones worth having. Let's see what the universe has to say. This is a long reading today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope something came through that was helpful. What is one more message for the collective, please? One more. Try not to dwell in the past or spend too much time worrying about the future. Plans that didn't work out, plans that you might have right now, might have to go out the living room window. You know, if things change, the winds change, a new wave of opportunity comes into your life. To worry about the past and or the future, all it does is steal your joy and sense of inner peace. Concentrate on the here and the now and enjoy every moment for what it is. Because you right now, today, where you are, is what's creating new memories. If you're constantly making plans, oh, well, when you get that goal, or after you do these 5 steps first, then you'll go to that thing that you love, or that thing that inspires you, or that experience that you always wanted to try in your life. But first you have to get this done and then it can happen. Just start now. What if there's something small that you can do now? Maybe you can make a step towards those plans, but in the end, now is what we got. So if any of you are in worry land, you have to see what you can do right now that can take you one step towards getting back into balance. What are the memories you wish you had in your life? Is there something you've always wanted to try and haven't? Is there someone you've always wanted to express your love to or have a hard talking with and you're holding off for the right time? Maybe it's just saying hello or saying, hey, we need to talk. Maybe that's what starts to tip the scales back into balance. Maybe that thing that you wanted to try today can make all the difference. With this, I bid you adieu. I'm not even seeing here. Even if today brings you lemons, get out some honey, put a little sugar in your bowl, and make that shit lemonade. I love you so much, and I hope this reading was helpful. I look forward to seeing you soon. Mwah. Thank you for blessing my life. I'll see you soon. Bye.